Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I played it on the Xbox One, it's available on the PC and PS4 as well. To address one thing, if you're wondering why my reviews have been going up on Friday, it is because, well, all the games have been released on Friday, and releasing a review on Tuesday would not give me enough time to actually play these games. So I've decided from now on, if a game is released on a Tuesday, the review will come the following Tuesday, and if a game is released on Friday, the review will come on the following Friday. I may occasionally play with my release schedule just as necessary. Okay, so let's start with the campaign, or lack thereof. The new Call of Duty does not have a campaign. It has a kind of little story that is broken up by a tutorial and bot matches for each of the operators that you will play as throughout the PvP. And it really does go cutscene, tutorial, bot match, maybe another little cutscene somewhere in there, and honestly, it's horribly disappointing to me. Not that I've ever really loved the Black Ops storylines, but I've gotta admit, I'd rather have a real campaign than this shit. It just feels lazy and lacking. It's really a tutorial for the characters that you play as in PvP and their special abilities. Which, okay, fine, whatever, give me that tutorial, but don't give it to me as the fucking campaign. Let's jump into the PvP next. I mean, the big thing is the Blackout mode. Heist mode is whatever, but Blackout mode is what people are probably most curious about. And I gotta say, I'm not a big, Battle Royale fan. I've never really gotten into it. I've tried, but I just don't get into it. I gotta say though, I enjoyed Blackout pretty well. It's still not my favorite thing in Call of Duty though. Let's just give it a quick breakdown though. Blackout mode is like most other Battle Royale games. You are dropped into a large map. You can kind of control where you wind up landing. Once you've landed, you are unarmed and you must scrounge around to find weapons and ammo and health packs, etc. And you have to worry at all times if somebody else got there before you got all the weapons and maybe they're still waiting for you. And that is very tense. That is incredibly tense. When firefights happen though, man, they are fast and they are brutal. The very first match I played in, my entire squad got wiped out, and I didn't even know it because I was upstairs. And then I went downstairs and find the entire other team down there and I just murked them all. That was funny. But one thing I ran into repeatedly in Blackout mode was when you start getting near the end, snipers. Fucking snipers, man. I generally met my end abruptly and by snipers. That being said, I did enjoy it, but it still wasn't my favorite thing. Let's address the rest of the PvP. It's got a decent amount of different modes. I'm still all about hardcore mode and the games within that. But Heist was pretty fun. I didn't love it, but it was pretty fun. I probably didn't love it because it wasn't hardcore mode. I mean, I just prefer hardcore mode. I find it a great equalizer. It's not about who's a higher rank, it's about who's basically faster, who's more attentive. So as you can probably guess by me saying that, I dumped more time into hardcore team deathmatch, domination, kill confirmed. Which I enjoyed, but I'll say this about the PvP, it's lacking in guns. It's really lacking in guns, and that was disappointing to me. I like a wide variety of weapons to choose from. It's also lacking in maps. I mean, there's a good number of maps, but there's not a lot of original maps. Or at least not enough for my taste. I mean, I played the majority of my maps on rehashes of old maps, which is just fucking lazy in my opinion. I mean, give me a whole new multiplayer game's worth of maps and then those additional rehash maps. Then lastly, there's zombie mode, which, I mean, it's fun. It's more of a return to the oldie zombie mode than the newer one with the story and you having to progress through levels to find certain objectives and complete those. I mean, there's a bit of that, but for the most part, at least when I played, the matches I wound up in were very old school zombies and I enjoyed it. As for the audio, man, I gotta admit, the audio in this game is really impressive. I enjoyed it. I could really hear when other people were around and where they were. The guns sounded great. I mean, everything audio-wise was just of a very high quality. As for the controls, it's traditional Call of Duty. It's nothing new. It's fantastic. I didn't run into any problems at any point in time. I never felt like I got robbed because the controls were just fucked up. I think it would be a bigger surprise if the controls were shit because, I mean, let's face it, Call of Duty's been around for a long time. all the different companies involved in it have been doing this for quite a while. Lastly, the graphics. It's a very good looking game. I really am impressed with the way the game looks. I like the character design. I like the world design. I love just how clean it looks. I love the subtle details. I mean, it's a good looking game. There's no arguing that. This is a pretty short review, and I'm gonna sum it up very simply. It's a $40 game in content, $60 game in quality. I'd rather pay the $40 though, because quite frankly, there's not enough content here to warrant the $60 price tag. As well as then there's a fucking season pass. Quite frankly, with the amount of content that's in this, the season pass should have been free. But I will say, this is a great multiplayer game. I do enjoy it. I just think $60 is steep for the amount of content that's there. So I will say, I recommend it if you are looking for a good new multiplayer game, but I wouldn't rush straight into this. Maybe trade in a couple of old games or wait till it's on sale. Okay, so in the comments below, why don't you tell me if you're a fan of the Black Ops series? Specifically the Black Ops series. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and if you like what I'm doing in general, share, subscribe. Have a good one.